What's up, bud?
Hey, how's it going, bud?
You doing all right?
Not bad.
Not bad. Not bad. Come on. So tell me you weren't in that red tide yesterday surfing.
Oh yeah. Didn't even
Were
lose a
you
leg.
really?
Swear.
You're in what's the swells? 5 foot?
Yeah, it's 5 or 6.
And all off of the hurricane that went across Mexico.
Correct.
Are you? I mean, did anybody get sick or even worse, get close to, you know, running into any danger?
I mean, there's always got their route.
Man, your guy I know tougher. You can handle it. Well, it's a nice building.
What, man?
I never thought we'd have to use one of them. Come on out, man.
Thank you.
Back left. We're going to go down to the purchasing place, to the conference room. Just sit down and talk a few minutes and talk a little bit about what you've done and where you've been and how you and I got to know each other and where you're going from here and what the ADA's done to, you know, to improve your life the best it can since you got back. You know, all these pieces of art that we've got in the building, they're local artists put them together and they're actually for sale. And I've actually bought a couple of pieces here. And again, I want to point out that all of our signs we have Braille on them. You know, so people that had trouble, you know, seeing can read them. I mean, it's amazing. This building, as far as I know, is in complete compliance with the ADA. Good afternoon. My name is Joey Farrell, and I'd like to take the opportunity to welcome you here to beautiful Panama City, Bay County, Florida. I'm here today to talk a little bit about a very, very good friend of mine, Carter Hess. Carter was one of my former students in the baseball field when he was younger, and he's actually been one of my inspirations in life for a long time. I always said that Carter had one of the sweetest swings in baseball. I'm sure that Carter had the opportunity, or would have had the opportunity, to go to many different schools to play baseball, but he chose to serve our country instead. Carter, if you would, give me a little bit of your background, some of the things that you do.
Well, when I was growing up, I always enjoyed fishing, diving, hunting, shooting shotguns at the range, anything most normal kids like to do.
I know you did the normal things as a kid that most of us would do, you know, hanging out with family and pets. And tell me a little bit about Sadie.
Sadie is a German wire hair pointer that I got the night I left Walter Reed.
Well, how old are you? Tell me that.
I'm 24.
24, and what type of disability do you have?
One of my biggest things I face is I'm a single leg amputee. I have to do everything in moderation nowadays. I don't get just run until I drop, but I choose my days wisely. I still go surfing, I still go scuba diving, I go fishing a lot. You'll catch me duck hunting every day in the wintertime. I'm kind of known to drop my responsibilities during December.
I guess there's several different prosthetics.
For the most part, you're going to have a general walking leg. The one I use is from Camp Creek in Georgia, and it's very high activity-wise as far as return of the ankle movement. Whenever you get to running, you start to use more of a blade, and it's a very high impact. It's made to take all your body weight on it and have a higher turn rate, and that helps you get the spring to run.
Tell me a little bit about your tours of duty, but if you don't mind talking about it, we'd love to hear it.
So I was with the 82nd Airborne Division. I was stationed there 6 months after my 18th birthday, after going through basic and jump school and everything like that. I did 2 tours to Afghanistan. The first one was in 2009, the second one was in 2010. And on June 29th, I stepped on a pressure plate IED, which is what we call an improvised explosive device, which ultimately took off my leg at the boot top. But coming back to the United States, facing a lot of infections and stuff like that, we had revision surgeries to where now I've got about 6 inches below my knee left.
It seems to me, if I remember the conversation correctly, it just really aggravated you that you missed it.
It's not only that whether you missed it, whether you didn't miss it. It really comes down to it's approximately 6 inches wide by 2 inches across. And you had anywhere in the country to step, but you decided to put your foot there. When it comes down to it affects the morale of a team, it affects the mission readiness. I was in a leadership position inside my platoon, so now they have a less experienced team leader coming up and leading 4 or 5 guys into combat, and can affect a platoon in many ways.
You were sent to more than one place.
At first I went to the Kandahar Airfield Army Hospital, and then they transferred me later to Bagram, which is in another part of Afghanistan.
When did you wind up back in the States?
I was injured on the 29th of June, and I made it back to Walter Reed on the 6th of July. Whenever I initially got there, they told me I was going to be there for a year. So at 8 months, they actually had me up and running on a running blade and everything like that, and I was checked out and able to leave.
When you came home, it's when you actually learned that Walter Reed had a lot more to offer than what we had here.
At Walter Reed, they've done a really good job at keeping all of the facilities in the same building other than your living quarters. It's so easy to walk across the street and go talk to a prosthetist and have them do adjustments for you. And when I came home and my legs would get out of whack, I had to start a whole new learning process, looking up videos on YouTube and all sorts of stuff. So coming home was a real eye-opener.
Of course, we were all extremely happy to see you come home. But once you got home is when you started learning a little bit more about the ADA. It's 1 year older than you. Americans with Disabilities Act. I didn't think you'd ever need that, did you?
I didn't grow up with a disability. I grew up as a regular kid. I literally took a step that changed my life.
Right.
It was a 30-second deal. I was fine, bang, it's changed forever. Coming back into an environment like that after leaving a place like Walter Reed where everything's specialized, I didn't understand that the ADA is who enforces or helps encourage someone have a button in front of the door that opens it up for wheelchair people. I just figured that would be something that you would want to do for other people. And unfortunately, it's not that sometimes people don't want to do it for other people, it's whether they can afford to do it for other people, or whether their community has a lot of people that would need such needs. Now I see that the ADA is really the ones enforcing those laws and all the other acts that they've put into place. The fact that they're taking care of stuff like that too is just amazing.
All I want to say is I know that a lot of people welcomed you home. I know you've learned to adapt. You continue to amaze me. And as good of friends as we are, we like to hunt together, fish together, let our dogs run off and play together. The one thing that you've got to know, man, and I'm just, there's no other way to do it but to just tell you like it is. You're my hero.
Very good.
I love you, brother.